Good morning. It's Ayya Vimala, and it's Christmas morning, December 25th, and a Friday here in Illinois. And I hope all of you, wherever you are, and whatever the day is for you, it may be a holiday or it may be a regular working day, but hope you're having bright, sunny weather, and hope you're safe and well and being grateful just to be alive. So it's regardless of your religion in America, it's our biggest holiday, and for most people, it's a day when they don't work. So it's a day of rest, unless you have children, and then it's kind of a crazy hectic day. And today, it's especially good to take it as a day of rest, to be with the people that we live with, and not to be all the traveling and all the running around that we typically do here during the holidays. So I hope you are feeling safe wherever you are and able to relax for a while. At 11 this morning, Central Time, the Chicago Public Radio station is having a production that the Goodman Theater production company has done as an audio of a Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And they had it yesterday afternoon as well, and I'd been looking forward to it. But I had some phone calls that came in right after it had played, just for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And so I put that away and talked to people on the phone. And so this morning it's on again at 11. So if you have some time, it sounded wonderful. And a Christmas Carol is always it's wonderful to read, it's wonderful to hear, it's wonderful to see a production of it. So it's one of my very favorites. So that's what I'll be able to enjoy today. The other thing I wanted to share with you, because this is a book, it's a big, heavy book. It has the most beautiful illustrations in it, and pictures of Buddhist art from around the world, and different hangings and it just has wonderful articles in it. My good friend Todd Nielsen, who's a friend to Blue Lotus everywhere, he lives most of the year, maybe half of the year, here in Woodstock. And then he lives in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, with he and Bhante Soma. And Bhante Soma is the head of the Blue Lotus Center in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So they have a house that Todd purchased, and he's up there a big part of the year, and then has his home here. So Todd gave me this book. Gifted it to me. He's that kind of person, right? And today is going to be a day that I just dive into this. It's got so many articles, but it's just full of beautiful art, all Buddhist art. And there's an article he really recommended, The Wheel of Life, Philosophy and Ethics. I think that's the one. They're all so good. So that's part of my Christmas day, is to spend time with this beautiful anthology. It's called Buddhism: Origins, Traditions, and Contemporary Life, edited by Jana Iguma and Sansan May from the British Library. That's going to be a beautiful treasure for me to jump into after A Christmas Carol. So I have a lovely day planned of getting to do some reading that I rarely get to do. But while we're together today, I hope all of you are having a peaceful day, and you're spending it in a way that is just bringing tranquility and peace and giving you a chance to really enjoy the day and not be feeling like you're missing something. But if you can't be together, you can be together in spirit, and just realize that we're connected to the people we love, and we're connected to other people even if we don't love them. And so spend the day just feeling that connection, feeling what it is to be connected to all other living things, living beings, living creatures. If you have animals in your house, enjoy their company, and you can always call or send messages or FaceTime or create a family Zoom. But really enjoy what you do have, because if you're watching this, you're alive, and you've made it thus far into this pandemic year, and that's a good thing, right? So stay well and stay peaceful. Stay peaceful in your heart. I hope that's something that you've been cultivating through this entire pandemic, and hopefully even before that. And that's that process of, we have to be cultivating these qualities within us for them to bloom and just be there for us without a struggle. And it takes a long time, and we're always working on it, because we all have the things that get to us, right? We have the things that can trigger that emotional distress, and they're different for all of us. So we're always working on cultivating our own inner peace and our own sense of tranquility and serenity. And doesn't mean we're perfect all the time, but we can learn when it's arising, and then we can take care of it before it cripples us or before it hurts other people or hurts us more. So that's when we reach out, and there are different ways to reach out. You can spend time with animals, and you can spend time in nature, and you can contact your loved ones. You can volunteer to do things. And the volunteer opportunities are really different right now, so you can investigate and see where you can still volunteer and what you can do. So there's so many ways to take care of ourselves, and it's still difficult because this is just a different thing than most of us have been through. But remember that we can get through it, and we can find contentment and peace. Just accept that this is the way it is. This is the way the world is right now at this moment. And it's always changing. So I want to let's do my wish and sit together for a while, and then you can get on with your Christmas evening or your Christmas day, or if you're going to work, or if you're just going to enjoy, one of the wonderful things to do on Christmas is to watch those old movies, or some may not be so old, but it's always fun to kind of dip into other earlier Christmas memories. And a lot of us do that by watching a favorite movie. For me, it's going to be listening to a Christmas carol. And you might have, in my family, we all have silly movies that we've loved, and that will probably we may be all watching the same movie. But whatever it is, you might listen to beautiful music. So let's sit together. That's something that we can all do, and it's going to help us, and it's going to help everyone else. And just think of today, if you have to be alone, think of it as a beautiful, quiet day, and enjoy it and find peace in it. And you may reach out. I've already been able to say hello and see some different neighbors going off with their Christmas presents. One of my good neighbors across the hall, her son and his wife and her granddaughter live very nearby, and they're all safe with each other, so she's off for a day with them. And she had on a Santa hat and her Christmas sweater and a car full of packages all wrapped up. So it was just fun seeing her and being able to say Merry Christmas to her. So let's begin. Before we practice, let's begin with my wish, and I'll end with it also. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. So just let yourself close your eyes. If you're watching this at the end of a busy day or at the end of a slow day, you may just allow it to relax you. And if it makes you drowsy or dozy, that drowsy or sleepy, just let it do that. And if you're at the early part of your day, stay alert, stay awake, and just be attentive to everything around you. First of all, just be aware of your body breathing. And if your day has already become a little hectic, be aware of peace within you, of calm and peace, and just be aware that it's in there. Let it rise up. Let's do a really quick body scan that we've been doing lately that's part of the Satipatthana Sutta, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And this is on the body parts. We'll start at the top of your head. And we're not thinking as we do this, but we can visualize. We always begin with the skin, so as we move down to our feet, we'll be just observing and visualizing all of the skin that's the outer layer of our body. And then we'll come up from our feet to the top of our head, visualizing all of the flesh, which is everything inside that protective coating. And it includes everything in us except the bones, the hardest, the skeleton. And then that brings us back up to the top of our head again, and then we'll finish by just scanning very smoothly and flowing the skeleton, the bones. So we do skin, flesh, and bones. Start at the top of your head. And then be aware of your head, your scalp, skin, your scalp, your face, your ears, skin, into your neck, skin, your shoulders, skin, both arms, from your upper arms, lower arms, and your hands and fingers, skin, the top of your back, all of the skin under your arms, across the top of your back and your upper chest, skin, and then your mid-torso, skin, your lower abdomen, your pelvic area, skin, and your hips, skin, your upper legs, both legs, skin, your lower legs, skin, down into your feet and your toes, skin. Now from your toes back up, we're doing the flesh, all of the wet stuff within us, the organs, the blood, the muscles, the tissue, our feet and our toes, flesh, into both of our lower legs, flesh, our upper legs, flesh, our hips and our pelvic area, flesh, and our abdomen, flesh. And we're coming to all of the organs in our torso, our middle torso, flesh, and our upper torso, flesh. Then into our shoulders, our flesh, down into our arms, both arms, upper arms, flesh, lower arms, flesh, and our hands and fingers, flesh. Now back up to the neck, flesh, and into the head, flesh. Flesh on the outside of our skull, under our skin, and the flesh inside the skull, the brain. Now start again at the top of your head, and we'll come down with the bones, or skeleton, the hardness in the body. So cover all of your head, inside, bones, into our neck, bones, shoulders, bones, down into our upper arms, both arms, bones, lower arms, both arms, bones, and all the bones in our hands and our fingers. Come back to the upper part of our torso, all through the inside of the body. Be aware of bones. Middle torso, bones. The lower torso and our pelvic area and hips, bones. Both legs, upper legs, bones. Lower legs, bones. And to the feet and our toes, so many bones. Now be aware and just be with this body that we've just explored and observed. It's important to us, but it's not who we are. It's made up of all of these parts. Be aware of it. feel centered and grounded in your body. Be aware of your body breathing. Let's call it the body. The body is doing the work, and we're just allowing it to breathe, giving it, if we lift our spine, we give it the maximum area in our lungs so our natural breath becomes deeper. And observe that breath either in your belly, being aware of the rise of your belly when you inhale and the contraction when you exhale, or observe it around your nostrils, that more subtle spot. Observe each breath as you inhale, breathing in energy, and as you exhale, breathing out energy. And for today, breathe in peace and breathe out peace. Peace for yourself and your loved ones and your teachers and your friends and your neighbors and the world. Now, before I leave, you can just keep sitting with your eyes closed if you can, or if you need to have your eyes open, that's perfectly okay. Just try not to let them be distractions for you. But I'll read it just in case I start to forget a line. I still have to keep my eyes on it. I'll end with my wish again. And remember that when we become protectors of others, when we become peacemakers, we make the world safer for everyone, and we begin by being peaceful to the people and the creatures and the nature. We begin to be peaceful towards all of that and all of them, and that allows them to be more calm and more at peace, and it just spreads that way. We become a peacemaker within, find peace for ourselves, and then we breathe that out, and with every breath it's helping spread peace. And the best way we can become peacemakers, I think, is to begin with the precepts. And the precepts are just ways to be protective and caring for all other life. Not to kill, and not to take things that don't belong to us, and not to engage in sexual misconduct and harm people that way, and not to use wrong speech, not to try to tell untruths and get away with it, and not to become intoxicated, whether it's with drugs or alcohol, because when we become intoxicated, we've lost our mindfulness, and that becomes frightening for other people. So those are the ways we become peaceful. Those are the ways we become peacemakers. So just let your intention today to be a peacemaker. So let's end with this, but I'll have to leave, but you can keep sitting if you can, if it's a good time for you, just to be with yourself quietly, and sending all the love, first of all, to yourselves, and then send it out. May I become, at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. So thanks for being with me today, and have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on Sunday. Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas,